Hello, everyone. Welcome on in, as I have to hide Joker because it decided to play ads again, to Bonus Roulette Freestyle, here run by Providence. Get into the details in just a little bit here. Our first spin is live on a house built on sand. It's going to be a neck snap as the handyman, SMG elimination as the fortune teller. Some changes have been made here closer to the end of the event. As you can see, we have an empty slot dedicated to Linux Penguin, who had to drop out here very close to the start of the event. Fortunately, the assets were already ready for that. But yeah, first spin is live here again on a house built on sand. I am joined today for the cast of this event by Cab, who'd like to say hi to the audience.
Hello, everybody. Nice that we're just straight up jumping into this, I suppose.
Yeah, there was a lot that went on behind the scenes to finally getting all of this working together. Um, Cab is a little low, thank you. Turn him up a bit to about there.
How am I
Um,
sounding now, everybody?
and yeah, so bonus roulette freestyle. For those of you familiar, not so familiar, I should say, with bonus roulette or freestyle roulette, um, bonus roulette is very similar to what you would expect from your traditional roulette. You will get a kill condition and a disguise condition for each of your targets. But bonus roulette only takes place on bonus missions. So that'll be stuff like the Patient Zero campaign, stuff like the Hitman 2 special assignments, um, and as we see here, stuff like a house built on sand. Now, this event has a limited map pool that we'll talk about a little bit more between rounds. Uh, but this is map number one. And of course, anyone familiar with Providence will know that freestyle roulette is a concept created, I believe, mostly by Crudy, um, in that the kills themselves are not assigned to specific targets. So they have to kill Kong Tuo Kwang and Matthew Mendola with these two kill conditions, but they can choose which target they would like to perform each of these two kills on. And then, of course, the
Indeed, indeed.
third condition, I mean, you're just grabbing it. There's nothing really to do there. Um, so yeah, fortune teller, a bit of an odd one on this map. It's the only one that's really significantly out of the way. I would say in this mission. We've seen a bit of bonus roulette in the past, not a ton, but there are definitely strats that exist here for a house built on sand in terms of your isolations. A lot of the bonus missions are, of course, a lot simpler than the main ones. So,
And I mean, we just saw Joker J earlier eliminate Matteo Mendola with the neck snap and handyman, while both Fanium and Nezuko Chance have had multiple rips already in this map, and we're only like a bit over 3 minutes in it.
and it's important to note that this event is both RTA and IGT, which means that players will earn points both for being quicker at finishing the spin in general, and also will be awarded points after the 30-minute time limit has expired if they had one of the lowest in-game time scores.
Indeed.
And then after 4 rounds of this qualification here, um, there will be a one versus one. Winner takes all, and those two players will be decided by their scores here.
Nezuko-chan had another rip, unfortunately, just a few seconds ago trying to get the handyman disguise. Whilst Joker J has gotten themselves the fortune teller disguise now and is moving in towards Tu Kwang.
Um, Fanium and Joker there both had the fortune teller disguise as well as the kill on Mendola. Fanium did have a restart, but Joker J now has Kong Sick here coming into the private bathroom, same as you would see on normal Marrakesh, and able to get that SMG elimination with the silent slapdash. So both kills and the third objective complete. Just needs to get to an exit, which is a little different on this version of the map compared to normal Marrakesh.
So yeah, Joker J is looking really good for those RTA points.
Indeed, he is, and that would be 3 points to him immediately here at the start of the event. On round one, it is 3, 2, and 1 points, just depending on your placement there.
And if I may ask, how much are the in-game time points? Have we decided that?
The in-game points are half of the RTA points rounded up. So 3, 2, 1, that'll be 2 and 1 for in-game time.
Understood.
Okay. Fix something here in the background.
So yeah, 3 points in the bag already for Joker J here. Fanium has just now gotten the SMG kill on Mendola in the Fortune Teller disguise. Nezuko has gotten another rip, the poor unfortunate soul, and is going back into Marrakesh once again to try and get these two dudes killed.
And we saw Joker J in the Discord posted a 422. So he's the first to finish, and of course, currently in the lead in terms of in-game time.
Seems like. Hang on. I could have sworn I saw Fanium lockpick the back entrance to get into the cafe, but I might have mixed that up with someone else.
No, I mean it's very viable as an entrance. We see here, Fanium just gets ripped, trying to do a 3-shot panic and get in. Of course, if you lockpick from the side, there's no frisk point, there's no trespassing zone anywhere. You can walk in any disguise. Of course, there is also the invitation you can grab yourself. There's several, actually, as Reaver points out, there's several mission stories even just on this bonus mission, including one where you have a private meeting with Mendola as the fortune teller.
Hmm.
But mission story is not always the most viable in terms of getting an in-game time score. So Fanium's going to grab a quick replan. Nezuko's still early on in the run here, but he has had several attempts now, so getting closer to honing in on that strategy. Joker's trying to blast the door open from the side there.
Let's see if Nezuko can get the handyman disguise this time.
Yeah. So a bit of a public grab. But as always, getting in disguise right out in the open is, of course, going to save you some time over trying to isolate it.
Absolutely.
Joker as well, trying to figure out maybe a faster way to get into the Shisha Cafe here, past his bodyguard. And everyone's pretty early on in the run here. Of course, we see basically everyone wants to Seeker Mendola at the start because the only place for his AI to route is into the bathroom outside of the Shisha Cafe. Similar thing on default Marrakesh. So that's a target isolation a little over a minute in the future, basically, from the start of the mission. So pretty much any spin that you see on this map is going to feature that. You've got some options for accidents there as well.
Yeah, and even like live kills as well. It's like a very powerful strategy.
And previously, melee kills were somewhat exclusive to freestyle, but we saw in the previous season, Roulette Rivals also integrated those live melee kills. So SMG elimination, uh, lethal melee kills, live kills, that sort of thing. Same stuff that you would expect there. Fanium once again coming in on the kill on Kong here. Gonna need his handyman disguise, and obviously no weapon needed there for that second kill.
Pretty clean playing so far by Fanium here. Got Mandola knocked out, just needs a handyman disguise.
Nezuko's still at this point yet to acquire any kills here, but he does still have 19 minutes left, so plenty of time to go into the running for both of the categories. Joker now opts for a breaching charge, gets spotted there right at the last second.
And Fanium got unfortunately ripped here by the two guards who heard the gunshot from them as they walked out in their handyman disguise. That's just unfair.
Yeah, Fanium's going full any percent there on that mission.
If only.
But I mean, live events, it's always going to be a lot of your runs are going to be more of a learning experience than actually getting a final time published out of that. So again, lots of time here in our first spin.
Let's see, how many? Okay, we have 18 minutes left. Just
Yes.
about.
So these two target maps are going to be 30 minutes each. And then we have one single target map. There are not a ton of two target maps in the bonus missions. So we'll have one from the single target category, and that'll only be 20 minutes.
Rightio. And that's another rip for Joker J. Bit too early with knocking out the fortune teller, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the sad part of melee pacifications is the illegal action takes up your entire hitbox. So even though they didn't actually see anything happen, that's going to be a crime noticed from the back.
Oh no, that bald man's leg kind of moved
Yeah.
in a certain way, like they were knocking someone out. Call the military.
Yeah, Nezuko actually, someone in chat pointed out, was extremely close to getting that handyman grab. He basically got spotted on the last couple frames of the disguise change animation.
Yeah, I saw that earlier as well. And they even had like a guard kneeling over the handyman body as well, so it was super close to being a super clean disguise grab.
Similar to in the regular Marrakesh mission, where you might be trying to get the fortune teller disguise there, that happens in the same sort of area where Nezuko's trying to get the handyman here. There's a lot of NPCs with some decently long cycles, so being able to get in here and grab this disguise is going to be a very tight timing window. And I imagine players have obviously practiced for a lot of these maps, but it's not really realistic to be able to prepare for every single disguise here. So Nezuko just sort of working that out live. Joker was able to get that breaching charge into the side there, but couldn't quite get an angle on Kong. He's now grabbed that free handyman, so I think he's just going to go ahead and take care of Mandola here.
I really like that breaching charge on the door strategy. I think that really helps with like chopping down the seconds.
Yeah, we actually we did see a house built on sand in Bonus Royale, which was the last Providence event to feature bonus maps. And then before that, I believe the only other the only other bonus event that's been had in the Hitman community, at least that I'm familiar with, was a very long time ago when Fusk had bonus roulette. So there's only been 2 tournaments worth of strategies to kind of pull from if that was your goal there.
Hmm.
Um, but all 3 of these players here very familiar with your standard roulette, so they're definitely capable of optimizing on the fly and sort of figuring out some of these strategies, even if they don't know them by heart.
Absolutely.
Joker gets wrecked a bit by a bit of an unfortunate trespassing zone that spawns when Kong goes over to the sink. Um, for some reason, causes that little area to become a trespassing zone, even though you can approach him just fine in the middle of the public area. The sink is off limits when he's there, so that was a rip by the guards.
Hmm. Fania
Fanium,
managed to get the fortune teller disguise now without being spotted, and we were both about to commentate on that.
yeah. So this time he left a briefcase. I guess he was worried about. He's gotten it off before, but last time he had an issue with that soldier actually spotting him as he ran over for the tranked bodies. And that briefcase was a very nice way of getting him out of the way.
Indeed, indeed.
Now we've
We
seen
also
his.
seen.
Oh,
Oh, you first.
yeah, Nezuko. I think this is the most progress we've seen so far into the spin here. He is waiting for Kong to isolate himself, and he is in the fortune teller disguise. Um, Actually, is that Kong or Mendola?
That
Okay,
is
that's
Mendola.
Mendola. Yeah, he just now was able to make his way a medic all the way over here. So that is 1 kill and the documents. Still just needing that handyman disguise. I wonder if um, he knows or perhaps found Hitmaps the free handyman disguise. It is not there on the normal Marrakesh, but we've seen the other 2 players grab it
Well,
pretty
here they go
frequently.
trying. Here they go trying to get the public handyman disguise again. So
And I mean, it might even be easier now. Who knows with the timing? There's like 10 NPC cycles, it looks like, that are around this general area.
I mean, like that's
Um,
the thing. Like it could be easier, it could be harder. It's hard
yeah,
to tell.
I, I very
There we
much,
go.
I very much doubt that anyone has, that anyone in this community has done a contract specifically on that guy to know all of those cycles. But yeah, we see him. He is finally there, able to get the disguise. All he has to worry about now is that one target isolation. We have
Oh
seen
no.
players rip several times to that, so
Okay, I'm very happy that they went with getting the invitation. I was a bit worried that they were going to make a triple shot like we saw one of our players earlier do here to try and get into the cafe.
yeah, and that bodyguard that stands outside the Shisha Cafe, much like in the main mission, could be very finicky. So that is nice to
Hmm.
see. We do see
Okay.
um, threading the needle quite a lot on these seeker shots from Fanium and Joker. Both of them getting the Kong kill here, and Joker is actually on pace to get a much better time than previously. And
Indeed.
in the meantime, Nezuko has tried a bit of a crazy shot on the side door with his silenced SMG, and it causes a lot of panic that will ruin his run there for him.
Unfortunately so. So, Joker J has now finished with a better time of 3 minutes and 19 seconds, and it is still anyone's game for the second place RTA points.
Yeah, the second and third, as well as the second place IGT. So far, only Joker has finished the spin. We've got
Exactly, which is definitely something as well, considering that we're soon to have only 10 minutes left of the spin.
Yeah, 30 minutes isn't the most time in the world to optimize for in-game time. Unfortunately, with this being a live event, we want to try to not make the spins go on forever, um, especially if someone figures out the, you know, one of the most optimal strats very early on. It can kind of drag on towards the end, so we've limited
Hmm.
that to just 30 minutes. Um, but we have seen Joker J. I mean, he took off over a minute of in-game time there in his second run, so still plenty that he could potentially do. Um, we see Fanium now grabbing the Fortune Teller. Nezuko there had yet another rip, and Joker J perhaps thinking about going back in again to improve that time.
They did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they did say something about like maybe going to like eat dinner
Yeah,
during the event.
that was something that Joker mentioned. Actually, I'm not sure if the UK has changed their time over at all. But here in the States, we did just start daylight savings time this morning. So I think it's 6:30 p.m. for Joker right now, but it may be 5:30 in the evening. Since this event's going for 2.5 hours, he has said that he may be taking a break at some point there.
Yeah. And I mean like with a time like Joker's and with no second place finishes from either player, now might be a good time to go for dinner.
Yeah, fair enough. And with a two-player final, three players in the qualification, um, as long as he's able to have a bit of security, he may be able to feel pretty confident in his ability to make it to that final round.
Hmm.
And at the moment, he is sitting on 5 points earned from this round. Um, if someone were to take second place in RTA and in game time, they would only be at 3 points compared to his five. So we see Nezuko once again is able to get that kill on Mendola. Fortune Teller has not been his problem so far, so that makes sense. We see he does have the invitation. Maybe wanting to isolate Kong before going to get the handyman, or at least set up his entrance here. Now, that door is still locked from the outside. I do believe there is a key behind the bar that works for that door. It's been quite a while since I've done anything on this mission.
Same. Like I'll be honest with you, I haven't. I'm not. I have played these missions, but I am not very familiar with them or the strategies that go along with them.
And just watching what happened on Nezuko's stream there, I am amazed that he actually was able to get away with that.
I know, right?
We had him go in one of the little compartments, the cubbies, that have the actual the shishas in them, um, the hookahs, I guess. And he had a three shot like just outside of the visibility that NPCs could see him there. And even in the panic when he came out into the open, immediately after, no compromise whatsoever.
And then they got ripped by the handyman
Yeah, the
again.
handyman disguise grab once again causing trouble. That has been the story of Nezuko-chan here on a house built on sand.
Oh, let's go.
But I mean, looking at Joker's finishing time, um, he would have about enough time for two full runs if he matches that pace. So left in the 6 minute time window again. So far, only Joker has finished.
Hmm. What's this now? Is Joker back from their dinner?
I I wonder if maybe he just had something to take care of. I'm not sure. What's going on in his head exactly. He may not have believed that he would be able to optimize in any significant way with the remaining time, but he has actually hopped back in now. Um, and we do see Nezuko actually gets a side KO, but keeps his green guns, now changing into the fortune teller. So
Oh,
this,
careful, careful. Oh, that's a whoosh that Nezuko just ran through. Good work.
yeah, that. I was gonna say he's looking on decent pace here to be able to get a run here at the end. And Enforcer Dot literally runs right in front of him by about, I don't know, maybe a meter at the most, and does not get full spotted, fortunately for him. Um, we see now Joker actually brings a poison vial, and then drops that in one of the food samples that I believe Mendola will go through. I think there's like 3 or 4 of them or something in his entire cycle
Oh.
that he ends up tasting. Um, so may end up being faster in the long run. We may have to see there. Nezuko going for the same, I think 3-shot, or well, I guess 2-shot. It's an SMG to open the door here.
And they succeeded with that again. Man, oh man.
Yeah, now he's right here at the handyman. I wonder if he has any sort of ideas. He bumps this woman, maybe delaying her. Um, Seems like he's most worried about the soldier and that woman.
I mean,
Um,
and then there's also like the NPCs in the lamp shop as well. There's like a lot to juggle here.
yeah, this is a run from Nezuko. It definitely would work given enough time, but with only 30 minutes here, it's potential that not everything's going to line up for him. We see Joker J is calling it time there on the spin. Only 3 minutes left, so would have to be just under his previous run to be able to get that in time. You see Fanium probably on his last run here, given the in-game time that we see from him. Um, he has Mendola isolated. He is currently running for the Handyman disguise, and it's going to be close here on whether he would be able to beat the in-game time from Joker.
Yeah. And
Um,
Nezuko's in a tight spot here. People seeing the handyman body, shooting the SMG into the wall to try and panic everybody and make some last minute improvisation, but it is not working.
yeah, it seems like he cuts his losses there at the end. It was going to be a lot with just under 2.5 minutes here to be able to get the handyman in a workable position. Probably would have had to see an a medic there and then a pretty long wait. Um, but now
Hmm.
Fanium in the handyman disguise going to the main mission default start exit just under, I think, Joker J's in-game time.
Indeed, 10
Yeah,
seconds under. Well played.
309, very close there. Just a bit better optimized in the end. And that will get him second place in RTA and actually first place in in-game time. So
Nice.
able to steal some very important points there from Joker J to even out the playing field just a bit. And that will put him in very much in the running there for first place overall. Updating our scores here. um, Actually, do want to note, per the rules, even though the RTA points are set up to be 3, 2, and 1 for each round, if you do not finish within the time frame, no matter what position you are in terms of completion time, without a proper finish, you don't actually get any points for the round. So tallying that up, that will be 4 points for Fanium and 4 points for Joker J there for that first round. Currently tied for the lead here. And I will actually switch us over if my scene will cooperate. Yes. Set up just a little snippet here of the spreadsheet for us to examine the live scores between rounds while I set up the next round. As I am sort of, I guess, adminning it in a sense. So yeah, I don't know if you have any final thoughts there about a house built on sand. I'm gonna get round number 2 ready here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, the it's definitely been a bit of a rough start for all of our players. All of our players had like very rough starts in the beginning with lots of rips in the beginning. Nezuko-chan, we've mentioned over and over how their unfortunate times with the handyman. I I hope we can tell them of the handyman disguise that exists on a house built on sand for the future. And yeah, I mean, congratulations to Joker J, of course, and to Fanium for, I mean, clutching it at the end, stealing the valuable points from Joker J.
Yeah, tied up. Unfortunately for Nezuko-chan, he does have a bit of ground now to cover. I guess also, unfortunately, given the player count that we ended up with, the comeback potential is a little bit lower because the maximum points, or I guess the distance between the most and the fewest points that you can get in both categories is a lot smaller now. So, um, hopefully, he is able to close the gap in the next few rounds. But we will have to see. Gonna have the next round start. It's gonna be the author, as decided by RNG, a Patient Zero campaign mission on Sapienza, and that's gonna start at 39 past the hour. These first couple rounds are gonna happen pretty quickly back to back, but we will have an intermission sort of in the middle of the event. To let everyone get some food and stuff if that is needed.
And Joker J has already sent a Discord message in caps lock screaming about how they wanted the offer in the final.
Yeah, the author, at least in my opinion, it's my favorite of the bonus maps, and I know public sentiment tends to be pretty fond of it as well. So,
Is that so?
at least from what I've seen from the few bonus events we've had so far. And I am respinning a bit here to make sure we have a legal spin.
I will admit, because, like, I have been playing Hitman as, like, a completionist for the longest time. That's how I played it when I started out. And in that sense, completing Sapienza, like all of the challenges there as a completionist, with all the missions in mind, is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, oh, wait, you say something first?
I'm also a completionist. I've done for a lot of these missions, I think 3 different times now. I've gotten every single challenge on all of the maps. 2016, and then Hitman 2, and then for Hitman 3, I switched to PC, so I had to do everything again.
Right.
So that is where most of my experience with the author comes from. I have not touched it an extreme amount for Roulette. And why is it listed as having no time limit when I set a time limit?
While you fix the time
There we
limit
go.
thing, I'll read out the spin.
Yes, yes, please.
We got an explosion accident as the Bohemian and a screwdriver in your suit.
Yeah, so Craig Black, Brother Akram are our 2 targets here. They can choose which one they decide to use for each of these 2 kills. I did have fire as one of the conditions. here, but for our bonus roulette rules, fire is banned um, for Brother Akram and Craig Black. So that was not allowed. But even in the event that the kill was only illegal for one of the targets, that would also not show up in a spin, just to allow for as much flexibility as possible. Of course, if you have a banned condition for one of the targets, it's going to be much easier for the other one. So we want to try to make sure that there's an option to go either way. We see Joker J loaded in, and he has very much prepared that strategy. Actually, I did forget to mention I just remembered there was one other event that I know of that has had bonus missions. It was Sasso Roulette 2 from Chromex.
Oh yeah.
And I do remember seeing a good amount of author in that tournament. Of course, that was suit only. One of our kills here, though, is in the suit. And that being the most recent one. And also being a multi-day event, I'm sure led to a lot of practice on this map. So, I'm not sure. I don't remember if Nezuko was in it. I only watched the last like 2 or 3 matches of the event. But I do believe both Fanium and Joker J got some experience in there.
I myself can't speak for sure. I can neither confirm nor deny any of
Yeah.
that. I will say it is definitely like I'm actually like genuinely happy to actually like see someone else play the offer instead of playing it myself because Sapienza in general kind of left a sour taste in my mouth as a completionist, and the offer being the last map that I completed gave it like honestly an unfair impression for me. I've had an unfair bias against it.
Yeah, and I mean, it was very obvious in 2016, in that development cycle. Sapienza was most people's favorite mission, and thus it has the most bonus missions. It has 3, I believe. This
Oh yeah.
one, Landslide, and the Icons. So if you are going for that completion, I mean, there's a lot. There's like, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 challenges on every bonus mission. 3 of those, all those escalations, that type of stuff. It was definitely the biggest of the missions at the time. But yeah, so far, no one has gotten both kills down. We see Nezuko
Not
actually
yet, no.
currently leading, but very quick starts in the runs that they've gotten so far from Joker J and Fanium, as I said. That map experience is coming in very clutch for them. They have those isolations ready to go in their minds. So at this point, just a matter of being able to chain those together without losing green guns, as well as being able to grab that Bohemian disguise for the second kill.
Indeed. You will have to excuse the dumb question, but I did see Fanium try and make a mud shot earlier. Are those allowed?
The mudshots are not allowed in bonus roulette.
Okie doke. I mean, as said, they were only trying to make one and they restarted anyway after that, so it's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, in some of our live events, there are more relaxed rule sets. The only reason it is not the case here is because this is exclusively roulette, which typically has that stricter set, including no mud shots. Yeah, Fanium now has switched to the full auto that we also see in Joker J's inventory. Previously just had the floral baller. But yeah, if the event also features contracts, typically we have mud shots allowed the entire time, just so players don't have to go back and forth between rule sets and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But here it is the intent that those should not be allowed. Anyways, we see Joker J has that kill on Craig in the suit. Meanwhile, Fanium has already grabbed the virus sample, which comes from Akram.
And left their suit by Akram as well, getting that kill already.
Yeah, so the plan here is going to be to isolate Black and then have him for a remote kill, I would assume, with that explosion accident. So he can
Ooh,
grab,
clever.
so he can most likely grab that Bohemian, trigger a detonation, and then run over to Akram to finish out the spin there. Other way around, meanwhile, for Joker, he is trying to get, uh, or at least in his run so far, he is trying to get Brother Akram with that explosion accident.
And over on Nessico's end, excuse my throat. Over on Nessico's end, they got the Bohemian disguise in hand, just got the propane now from the shed outside the church. And I believe Craig Black is also inside the church right now, so they're about to set up that kill, which is all they need to finish the mission.
Yeah, and I mean, as long as you don't trigger anything mission story wise, if I remember correctly, Craig Black doesn't really move very much at all. So that allows for a very easy public kill as long as you make sure you don't clip any of the NPCs in that
Exactly, and
kill radius, and he does actually.
exactly, that's exactly what Nezuko did. They're moving towards the speedboats here. Can they get a sub 5? Can they get a sub 5?
It's definitely going to be close there. And looks like
Oh,
with the fast prompt, yeah, just able to sneak in there in 459.
heck yeah!
So
Some well earned and well needed points for Nezuko there.
yeah, that's going to be great for him so far. Obviously, he's currently number one in game time, but of course, that guarantees him 3 points here on round number two for the first place RTA finish. After no finish in the previous round, he is very much also going to be looking to get those in-game time points. So we'll see how he's able to optimize here. On a restart, looking at our other two players, Fanium is now headed up to grab the Bohemian. And now going to have to deal with the evidence, actually, with which I think will make it impossible for him to beat Nezuko's time. But he's definitely going to want to try to finish before Joker J, who is now running over. Akram is actually locked down at the moment.
Oh.
I did not see that get triggered, but that
Oh,
puts him.
on Nezuko's end, or. No, on Joker J's, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That gonna make it a lot more difficult to be able to get this kill safely, especially with this back area being considered a trespassing zone on this mission specifically for this disguise.
Yeah.
Gonna have to wait for it to calm down, and then gonna have to hope that not all of these guards are enforcing this trespass, but that may very well be the case.
Fanium cannot beat Nezuko's in-game time on this run specifically, but they will be grabbing a second place on real-time attack here. So well played on that.
Indeed, they will, and we've still got 20 minutes to go here in the author. Well, we see Joker J rip, so that's going to set
Oh,
him back quite a distance. But I mean, there's plenty of time for him to get a run in, and for both of our other players to optimize this for in-game time. We saw Nezuko Chan just under 5 minutes even there. Um, our players will be looking to bring that down a good amount, so should be able to see more than 4 to 5 full runs here of purely trying to optimize that as Fanium posts his 509. So Fanium currently second place both for in-game time and real-time attack. So
Fanium and Joker
far,
J going with like similar starts of getting Akram first, whilst Nezuko-chan. I mean, they also get Akram first, but in like a slightly different way, I would say.
Yeah, this is the strat that I've seen almost exclusively on the author. Of course, with bonus missions being more simplified than main missions, it's a lot more likely that one strat will be viable for more spins. Of course, that can be thrown off by live kills and perhaps some weird disguises, but fairly straightforward here in terms of the spin that we got this time around. Um, we had a target lockdown on black there for Fanium.
Faniums and yeah.
I'm actually not sure what caused that, but the connection that Black and Ankram have on this map is kind of weird. So I'm wondering if the little bit of panic he had with the frontal KO and on Akram, as well as the civilian, I think it was that heard all that commotion. I wonder if that is eventually what led up to that panic.
Hmm.
But yeah, I imagine the beginning in terms of isolations and everything will stay very much the same for most of our players. It'll just be up to what they are able to do in the middle of the map to optimize.
So right. Right. Whoosh! On Joker J's end. That's Screwdriver and Black's chest. Now it's only Brother Akram left for Joker J. Fanium once again moving towards the church in Akram's disguise. And Nezuka-chan once again going with the strategy of essentially invading Brother Akram's apartment and getting the suit and screwdriver kill on them. I actually quite like that strategy a lot.
Joker J here actually still has red guns, so hopefully when Akram dies, those will go back to green for us here. Um,
Hopefully, yeah.
I haven't really seen anything that um, makes me extremely concerned about that, but we will have to see. There sets up that promote isolation and now has just under a minute and a half here to try to get the lead in terms of in-game time. But he will very much want to grab that guaranteed point for an RTA finish, regardless of whatever his in-game time is here. So definitely worth it
Indeed.
to see that out to the end. Just over 15 minutes left here in our timer. About half the time has passed so far. Mizuko there has a bit of a mid-mission restart as Fanium is still working on the beginnings. Joker J trying to avoid getting caught on cams to save himself a little bit of time, and I think he did there, manage to take it out before he got spotted.
Let's see when they pull the trigger.
So should be able to grab this Bohemian. I'm actually not sure which exit on this version of the map that he's the closest to here. I believe
I
the author also has the gate exit in the middle of the map.
they do also have the car exit,
Yeah,
which I personally think Joker J is going for.
so we will see. Trigger that detonator momentarily. He doesn't want to do it super far in advance and worry that when an NPC panics from that explosion, they will eventually go up to find the guards knocked out. So he does
Hmm.
trigger that there, closer to the exit, back to green guns, and 507 will actually put him ahead of Fanium's in-game time.
Radio.
So he is now slotted in for third place in RTA and second place in in-game time, taking that a point away from Fanium, potentially.
Whilst Nezuko still reigns supreme over the first place IGT.
And those RTA points are now set in stone, so those will not change. Nezuko will get 3 points, Fanium 2, and Joker J 1. So at this point, they're just fighting over those spots to get 2 and 1 points off of their in-game times. Nezuko trying to hold that lead. Currently, trying to get a faster time, and only 30 seconds into this current run. Fanium is just under 3 minutes in, already with 1 kill done. Trying to stop that investigation, and he does. He does have yellow guns, so he's going to need to take care of a camera box. Not super difficult on Sapienza. And this map is no exception. So going up now for the Bohemian, we'll be able to grab that tower evidence box. Get spotted. I'm actually surprised that none of them have gotten red guns from that camera off of.
I know, right? Like, I have been
I mean,
so nervous.
they're getting spotted by it at the same exact time that they're aiming down sights, but they're not getting whooshed at all, which is surprising.
Yeah, that's what I've been worried about every single time, and I'm genuinely. It's a very pleasant surprise that they haven't gotten red guns from it.
I mean, obviously, Fanium was wearing a civilian disguise there, but even in a guard disguise, you're aiming a gun at a camera, it's gonna spot you
Yeah.
fairly quickly. So that is never gonna be safe. We do see Fanium triggers that explosion well before his exit, but all he had pacified in that area was Black, who's now dead from that remote setup. Running towards the exit will put him just under 30 seconds ahead, actually, of Nezuko-chan.
Excellent work.
Our biggest chunk of time saved that we've seen here so far in round number 2. That is a 4:25 finish, and he has posted that. So it goes from 3rd place in in-game time now to up to 1st. With about 12 minutes left here on our spin.
Joker J once again sitting a bit on the main menu screen here.
Yeah, I guess Joker's gonna take 1 bite of his sandwich per round or something. I don't know what's going on that end of things, but
A sandwich for dinner? I mean, I guess. I mean, you're talking to the guy who ate blueberry muffins for dinner today, so I guess that's fair.
you know, honestly, that's not the worst meal I could imagine. Muffins are very good.
Indeed.
And they're topical because they're a loadout item in this game.
Exactly. That's honestly the reason why I bought them.
I mean, to be fair, I have no idea what people eat in England, and at this point, I guess it's kind of just. I think British food has kind of turned into a meme, so I'm not sure what Joker would even be eating, but that's not really super relevant. As he restarts, he is headed back into the mission. At this point, we eat boring food. Someone from
Fish
the
and
UK
chips.
in chat. I mean, fish and chips are great. I would consider that passing as a meal any day of the week. So
I unfortunately don't like fish, but I'll gladly eat the chips any day.
um, yeah, I guess Joker is. I think this is the freestyle. It's one of the or it's freestyle. That's the name of the event. I think it's one of the freelancer suits, the one that he's wearing right now. Like the
Joker J, yeah, that's
one
one
of
of the freelancer suits.
the mastery suits. It is an outfit that you would typically associate with England. I guess it looks like something that you would see as an NPC on Dartmoor. So, you know, very fitting. Um, Kind of looks like a hunting jacket type of thing.
I believe it's called a hunting something something. I don't know what the suit exactly is called.
Yeah, exactly that. The something something. We saw Joker there try to use an emetic gas device in a briefcase there to get Black through the wall, or I guess the little like partition there, and not quite able to get that within range as Fanium just has a thrown frontal knockout in the middle of the open back there
Oh.
by the graveyard. I'm actually not sure if there were any NPCs around to even see it, but by Fanium's quick restart, I would wager that that wasn't a great position to be in there.
Rightio.
Joker now has a bit of panic from that early setup that he had in calling the meeting, and now just gonna walk straight up to Black and trigger that briefcase. Narrowly avoids getting spotted. Let's see, on Nezuko's end of things, he has cleared out Akram's apartment and is now making his way up to where 47's ICA safe house would normally be on Sapienza. Um, has that kill on Akram secured, and
Still has cameras to deal with, unfortunately.
yeah, he does need that Bohemian still for the Black kill. So should be able to grab that on the way up to the Bohemian. And then, of course, we've seen several times now the propane is very easily accessible nearby to Craig Black. I'm not too sure what Fanium wants to have Akram all the way down here for, but it did seem like there was an intent to that, so.
Yeah, might be. I assume that's just for time save reasons. It was definitely
Yeah,
a bit nervous to see. I will say that
perhaps
much.
perhaps he knows that he's going to have a small amount of waiting time on the side of the Black kill, so getting the target closer to the exit and the entrance as well, I guess, um,
Hmm.
would lead to cutting off a few seconds there in the future. Yeah, he was waiting for Black to come outside actually to get a quick throne lure. This is where we saw him get the kill last time with this isolation into the side area here. Didn't end up ever getting spotted for him. And actually does a bit of a flick there, a small one with that fully automatic pistol there to avoid blowing himself up with the propane. And sets that up with a remote micro taser to guarantee that that's an explosion accident kill. So far, haven't seen any accidental breacher kills in this round, but can always happen with that.
Accidental breachers?
Yeah, like if you set up a breacher next to a propane,
Yeah,
um,
that we have seen here.
if you, I just mean like accidentally getting an explosive weapon kill rather than an explosive accident kill, and then um, thinking that you're able to exit and ending up losing a run because of it.
Right.
So Joker has Akram now in a very weird spot.
The and the compromise as well.
Yeah, I
That's
think I think pulled out the briefcase for, or not the briefcase, the breaching charge for an instant too long there. Meanwhile, Nezuko able to wrap up that very end of his run there in getting his explosion accident kill as the Bohemian. We actually did see there someone did rip to shooting at that camera. Fanium just had compromised on the security box guard. Um,
bloody heck.
but yeah, that is going to be a 425 for Nezuko, which is actually a tie in-game time. Um,
Oh damn.
and in the event that that tie remains at the conclusion of the round, I am going to have to go back through the VOD and see which of them had the better in-game score. That is our tiebreaker when they fall in the same second. And technically it's the the score condition just in general, but considering this is all Silent Assassin, um, there's no way to have a worse time and a higher score. So typically we just go off the time.
Very well.
Yeah, but now Fanium's going to be looking to beat that 425. He's got one run here left in him, presumably with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. With a restart, he's going to need a very significant time save to be able to pull that back. And I'm not sure he would be able to manage it.
Yeah, no. I think they
Um,
might be calling it here.
so it's looking like that's going to be a bit of a tiebreak in terms of the in-game score. I will get the message ready for our next map, which I have spun. So I won't say it quite yet because the timer has not fully run out, but that is essentially the end of the round. Players have realized that they can't have any more runs. So I will post this as soon as I get a final look at the score here. Important to note that our next map will be either the Icon or a Bitter Pill. Those are our two potential single target maps. It will be one of those two, and it will be 20 minutes long. And then after that map is when I'm going to call for, I think we'll do it probably a 10-minute break in between. And then we'll have 2 more rounds after that for the remainder of the event.
Rightio, I'll make sure to get myself some extra water during that 10-minute break because I have run out.
As have I.
Oh no.
So let's see. I've got this ready. Oh, okay. Actually got some help here from GK Punk in our back end. GK Punk, one of our heralds, actually pulled from the VOD those in-game scores for me, and it would indicate that Nezuko beat Fanium by, let's see, 29 points, I believe.
Oh.
And God, I'm trying to remember what fraction of a second that is. I can't even remember how many points are associated with a minute at that low of an in-game time. Or, yeah, because I think it's up to 5 minutes. It's the same. Maybe someone in chat knows that, but
I mean, either way, thank you, Punk. Thank you for the score.
so I will update our scores here, and then I will send the message to the players about our next round. I guess I will say now it is RNG has determined that it will be the Icon. So another
Hey!
Sapienza bonus mission. I'm not sure which the players were wanting to see more. There were only 2 that were possible. It was actually supposed to be that both were going to be played, but we had a bit of a change in format. So that will start at 13 past the hour. Should I do 13? Yeah, that's fine.
It is a bit, in my opinion, it is a bit unfortunate that we're going to Sapienza again. But with that said, I do like Out of all the Sapienza bonus missions, the Icon is probably my personal favorite.
Um, for Sapienza, I would probably I actually love all three of them. Um,
Oh, that's nice.
it's not even the map specifically. Like I love the story of the author. I love the atmosphere in Landslide, and the icon. I just think it's a cool mission. I like the homage, I guess, to I'm not actually sure what the guy's name is. The guy that voices Dino Bosco, who was supposed to replace David Bateman. Um, Bates.
Bates.
Thinking of got him confused with like Patrick Bateman, I guess. Um, so let me see. Stop losing my train of thought here and actually tally up these points. So what was it? It was Nezuko was ahead, right? Make
I
sure I'm getting
think
that right. Yes,
Nezuko.
Nezuko was ahead in in-game time in
Exactly, so
score.
they get
So
5
they get
points, if I recall
5.
correctly.
Yeah, Fanium would get 3, and then Joker would get 1. Um, so that actually puts Nezuko tied with Joker here. So very
Ooh.
much caught up there in the second round. I will transition us over back to our tally of the score here. Um, if you didn't actually know, the number that's next to their in-game time is just my way of keeping track of the RTA finish. So that was first for Nezuko, second for Fanium, third for Joker. That is our score tally: 7, 5, and 5, with Fanium currently in the lead. We do actually have a tiebreaker for the final, so that will be explained if it comes down to that. Yeah, again, if you have any final thoughts there on the author, I'm going to set up the icon.
Right, final thoughts, final thoughts. Every caster's worst nightmare to be the one to try and fill in words for time.
Yeah,
Well,
you're the real caster here because I'm doing the admin work a lot of the time.
honestly, I don't really know if that's fair. I personally think you've been doing a lot of casting during the during these like 2 previous maps as well, in my personal opinion. So, my personal opinion, you're pulling double duty here, and I greatly appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. It isn't it isn't a ton that I have to do. I set up a lot of the stuff in the previous days, but yeah. So anyways, do you have any final thoughts about the author?
Well, I mean, it depends. Am I saying these final thoughts to buy us some time, or would they just delay the upcoming match?
Um,
The upcoming round, I guess.
well, the round I actually was gonna have it start at 13, but I didn't send it because I keep getting distracted by basically everything. So
Absolutely no worries at all.
I'm gonna go ahead and push that just slightly there to 14. Yeah, I made sure the spin was legal. This is good. There are actually no illegal spins on this map per our bonus rules, so this
Oh,
spin will do just fine.
not even fire?
Um, I suppose not. I actually don't know if there's one mission story I'm thinking of. I don't actually know if it counts as explosion, accident, or fire. Um, and I would assume there's fire barrels around. I haven't played a lot of these missions in a long time. Because basically the last time I played most of them is when I was doing all the challenges, and I haven't really touched them since.
Right, and I mean, I am in a familiar spot as well. Like, yeah, this might be my favorite bonus map, but again, it's not one that I remember exactly.
And you know what?
And right,
Um,
okay, we have ads for both of our players, but we do have the spin live as well. Who should read out?
I guess I'll take this one. It is going to be assault rifle as the movie crew for. It's actually funny. I said it on freestyle just out of habit, but if I hadn't, you would actually be able to see the name of the target. which is Dino Bosco. It doesn't actually make a difference in the background, but yeah. I love also getting an additional ad from Nezuko-chan. That's just what I wanted, was to see product placement
Hey,
instead
that's
of the
that's extra
player's
money for
streams.
Nezuko.
Yeah,
That's extra that's extra money for Nezuko. They need it.
I didn't actually take the time to pull in the ad overlays to have images to block the screen while that was going on. Um, because if I hide them from view without messing with the settings, it is likely to just play another one, fortunately.
Hmm.
Yeah, only 20 minutes here. There is no optimization in single target maps in terms of the freestyle element. The freestyle um, distinction is not in play here for this map. So obviously there's only one target. You don't get to choose the kills for the targets because you literally can't choose anyone else. So um,
You can certainly try, but
th
yeah.
that is not going to be part of the optimization. And obviously the fact that it is only one target is going to mean that no matter what, it's going to take less time to figure out, presumably. So that is why only 20 minutes. Again, don't want these to drag out to an insane degree. It's actually funny with the assault rifle kill, the quote unquote bulletproof aspect of the target comes into play here. Um, I think the only thing, if I'm remembering correctly, the only thing that you can one shot him with is the Seeger 300 Ghost and the variants. I'm not sure. I don't think the Leviathan can, but I might be misremembering that.
Oh,
Um,
I haven't tried that, so I wouldn't know for sure.
but yeah, he is intentionally meant to have a lot more health than your usual target. It's supposed to fit in with the lore because he's wearing that full suit of, armor, or at least fake armor, I guess, because he's on a movie set. But yeah, he is
Wait,
the icon.
he is the icon indeed, and we did see a perfect demonstration of that bullet armor in action from Fanium's end. So that was just a perfect demonstration there. We do also have a good message from the chat here. Can the striker one-shot the icon?
I'm not sure. I know the striker has a lot less consistency than the ghost does. The ghost has literally zero range fall off. You can, at least I'm like 90% sure you can shoot someone from like literally the max distance you can find in the game in the hand with the ghost, and it will kill them. The striker, that is not the case. You may have even tried yourself to um, take advantage of using the knockback that the striker can have at long range. Um, so the damage numbers might not be exactly the same. I don't know. That would be a question for someone like Muddy in our community that is very familiar with those values. But anyways, so far we have not had a finish here on the icon. I think from
This,
Fanium and Joker, we've seen very early grabs on the movie crew. So looking at some quick
yeah.
times there.
And we did see
Um,
Fanium getting close to finish as well before they got a late game rip.
yeah, that was a kill in the bathroom, one of the little side underground
Yeah.
bathrooms. And we do see now Nezuko also was getting that quick movie crew. And is now just trying to get an angle to get this emetic gas grenade off on Bosco. Um, which
I'm
would allow him to
starting.
get the same isolation.
I did. That striker question is still in the
Oh,
back of my head.
oh my goodness.
Like, I'm very tempted to just launch Hitman 3 right now and just check it for myself.
I mean, you very well could.
I could. I might check it on the break if I wanted to. That might be a terrible use of my break, but I'm tempted to.
The funny thing about the like armor that Bosco has in the lore is it wasn't worth like actually changing the NPC properties and like probably would have taken like way too much effort based on how hard they said it was to program Diana in Mendoza, messing with the AI or just like NPCs in general in any substantial way. But um, Bosco basically just had his health number turned up. You can still shoot him with a dart gun just fine, and for some reason, it
Yeah.
will pierce straight through his armor. I'm actually wondering if the reason that Nezuko isn't using a Seeker is because he doesn't know that, or, I mean, obviously it could just be loadout constraints. I just think that's a funny thing about Bosco that's, like, kind of inconsistent.
With that said about Bosco, I do recall, at least when I last played this mission, I do recall that they at least programmed it so that if you shoot him from the front, like shoot him in the face, then it will headshot. But if you
Yes.
shoot him in the back of the head, it won't headshot. That's what I
Yeah, it's just,
recall, but I could be wrong.
uh, I mean, there's also the fact that hitboxes in general are kind of just like weird in this game. Like you can shoot someone, like you could shoot, I don't know, just any target, like I don't know, Tamara or something in the back of the head, and sometimes she won't die. But um,
Wait,
yeah. Anyways,
wait,
Fanium's got his kill, and he's running to the exit. So
with that said, yeah, speaking of Fanium, the moment I said that headshot thing about the head and how it won't headshot from the back of the head, Fanium literally just did that right as I said it.
yes, he did, and he was actually able to barely grab that movie crew. He's been going for it a couple times. The free one that's by the bathroom where he got the kill. Um,
Yeah.
close to a full whoosh bar there, but yeah. So Fanium will take first place in the RTA category. He has posted a 143. So that is the
Well
time.
played, well played.
That is the time to beat right now.
All three of our players essentially starting again by the by the road leading into the movie set. So they're all on, well, relatively even ground, ignoring the finish by Fanium. Uh, we are seeing similar strategies from everyone as well, and it's just essentially, at this point, essentially more of a matter of getting these strategies refined and getting a good time out of it.
Yeah, and Fanium is doing just that by getting as many orange targets on the map as physically possible.
That was a low blow, and you know it.
Really was. No, I think he's just kind of messing around, trying to see what he can do. He's already gotten the finish. I think he's trying to see what he can get away with in order to improve that time. Um,
Absolutely. There's no way that Joker J actually made that seeker shot on Dino Bosco as they ran into the robot. There's no way.
well, we've got barely over 10 minutes here, so about half the spin left. Um, with a 143 from Fanny. I'm assuming they match that
Oh
time.
my god, Joker J got the seeker dart on Dino Bosco.
There's still room for plenty of attempts here. So Joker J is actually going to grab a guard disguise here to go between. And then it's likely we'll also see him try to grab that free movie crew disguise. Fanium able to get the kill at 107, but does get compromised and spotted performing it there. So would have been a better time, but unfortunately not quite able to get it. Joker J now in the disguise is looking capable of um, being able to finish here as Nezuko, with just 1 minute, had a bit of a risky kill on Dino, and I'm actually very surprised that it took that much distance before he actually got spotted. But if he is able to get that at some point, that would be a massive chunk of time saved. Um, but
And that's a second place RTA for Joker.
yeah, 211, or was it 211? No, 215.
2:15.
So a bit of distance there to catch up for that in-game time, but he has secured himself at least 2 points for the round.
Indeed. Because, like, Thanium is in a very comfortable lead. Like, they have the 3 points in the bag from finishing first, which would leave them at like 10 points. Assuming they get like the least amount of in-game time, which is unlikely, but assuming that they get that, that would still leave them with 11 points total. So Fanium's in a really comfortable position here.
Yeah, we would imagine he would be quite confident leading into map number 4, which would be our last round of qualification.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
Fanium immediately gets that movie crew, but gets spotted by the guy that he took the disguise off of. So
Hmm.
that would be a rip. I think now looking at seeing where he is able to get Bosco the soonest. Actually gets spotted from very considerable distance taking that secret shot.
Indeed. Look at this knockout. Look at all these knockouts on Nezuko's end, completely destroying the backstage area. Well played.
Yeah, so this is this is um sort of the reason I was surprised that it took him that long to get found. It was in a very risky area, and now we see him trying to mitigate that risk by getting rid of some of the people that could potentially see it.
Yeah.
Didn't quite
Because I
work out there.
do. Yeah, the strategy didn't work out, but I do like it. Honestly, I quite like all of the strategies that we got here, with Fanium trying to experiment of trying to get Dina Bosco in the backstage area, Nezuko-chan also doing the same but in like a different way, and yeah.
I mean, Nezuko was looking at, he was just over a minute in-game time, I think, when he was getting close to the exit. So you imagine it would take some extra time to make that safer, but I think that could definitely be sub minute 20, um, if that strat works out in the end.
And just imagine that, sub minute 20, that's a steal.
I mean, that would be almost uh, 30 seconds that, like 25 seconds that Fanium would have to make up in times that are already so low. That'd be quite a lot of work.
Yeah.
With not even 6 minutes left in the spin, also important to mention. So, number of attempts that you have available is rapidly going down. Nezuko again dealing with this whole backstage area. Um,
Oh, target lockdown on Dina Bosco for
yeah,
Nezuko.
he
Yeah.
he saw the guy get tranked and go down. That's gonna trigger panic in targets uniquely, or I should say in a unique way. So that's a lockdown and a rip. So what Fanium just did there, I'm surprised that the guy saw him from that far away, but I'm even more surprised that the guard that's like 2 feet away from him doesn't hear the seeker shot and turn around, because the distraction would take priority over the emetic. And
Right.
he just straight up doesn't hear the shot go off like in his ear. But anyways, 4.5 minutes left. Maybe 3 full runs if you've got a bit of an improved time. So coming in close here. Nezuko, I think, also needs to be worried about being able to get a finish with. I mean, at this point, he could use the whole rest of the timer. As long as he gets a finish, would still get that point for the RTA finish. And I think every point's going to matter here going into round 4, considering that players were tied at the start of the round.
Yeah. Hang on, has... Oh no, Nezuko hasn't finished an RTA yet, have they?
No, not on the icon. He hasn't so far.
Oh no.
We've also only had one time posted for both Joker and Fanium right now. So that would be the standings with Fanium currently leading on the time front, as well as the RTA front. So it's good for Nezuko if Fanium is able to keep Joker from getting first place in IGT. Of course, he wants Joker to score lower, to keep that gap closer, but he really does need to take any points that he can here in this round, and that would include an RTA finish.
Right, yeah.
In order to keep that comfortable for him going into the next round. Gets spotted at a distance on the KO there. I wonder what he's able to do about that guy, because I have no idea what his cycle is.
And
And
Joker J was also close to getting that like free movie crew disguise as well, which I think would also be enough, or like maybe enough to beat Fanium's time, but it's tight.
I mean, even with the assault rifle, considering that I don't want to say all, because I don't want to be dumb, but I pretty much all bonus missions force a suit start. And that means you're allowed to bring in 2 weapons from the start, for most every spin. So even with the assault rifle, they do have access to darts. They do have access to things like the Semitic gas grenade. And all of those resources we see players using here to manipulate NPC cycles. So hopefully Nezuko has the tools here to be able to get that isolation down. Only a minute 45 though. We're rapidly running out of attempts. We're gonna see a long range dart, and he does get it. Gets the kill. Took a few shots there, but was able to get it. Now, will he get out before someone finds that body? I don't.
Nope.
Ooh, I'm not sure if that was someone looking at the guy that he tranked, or if no, it's just this guy on his normal cycle walking back and forth. And I wonder if he has anything to delay that guy. I mean, he literally has just enough time for one run, but that's rapidly, leaving the realm of possibility. So only 54 seconds left. I don't think we have time to finish any more runs. It would take something insane here to finish in that time, especially with loading in.
Oh yeah.
So that's basically going to call it here on the icon, our 3rd map. And let's see.
Oh boy.
We'll just do it even. Make the next round start at 45. That'll be 11 minutes. I'll tally up the scores here. That's going to be 5 points to Fanium and 3 points to Joker J.
So that's 12 points total for Fanium, 8 points for Joker J, and Nezuko stays at 5?
Yes. With a did not finish there, that will be no points earned on this round. Let's see, let me sort these.
You will have to excuse me for spoiling the numbers before you get to show them with your beautiful spreadsheet.
Yeah. The spreadsheet, I worked very hard, and by very hard, I mean I considered trying to make it as well as InfraFund does. Realized that there is no way I would be able to do that, and ended up with this instead. So, there we go. Okay, so switch this over real quick. Check the score briefly. Not a ton to look at. We've already talked about it a bit, but yeah, these are our results going into. Okay, if I could hold on real quick. Live, I'm gonna change these because I forgot to do that. There we go. Okay, so Joker currently in second overall with 8 points, was able to secure 3 points there. That will get him the lead over Nezuko-chan. Still at 5 points, was not able to secure any there. Round 3, very close to getting a first place in-game time run. Unfortunately, could not quite have it there. But yeah. Fanium in a fairly secure lead at 12 points, able to get 5 there from both first place RTA and first place in-game time. We will have round 4, which I can announce now is going to be the source, which means for anyone keeping track at home of our map pool, that means the final is guaranteed to be patient 0. That's not really a spoiler. It's literally just guaranteed with how the event is set up. So that will be patient 0 as our final. And after round 4 on the source, we will take the top 2 players, assuming no tiebreaker, and they will advance to our final, which is winner takes all. So the first player to finish the spin, by any means, will win the event overall. But yeah, between these next 2 maps, we're going to have a break. I've cut into a bit with all this talking, but it will start at 45 past the hour, assuming you're not in Australia or something. So check back in there for more bonus roulette freestyle action. I'll switch us over to a BRB screen. And again, tune back in 45 past the hour. Our next round will start. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bonus Roulette Freestyle. Our fourth spin and the final one of our qualification round has just gone live. If you would like to read this out for us, Gab.
Absolutely. For our first target, we have a katana as the recording crew, and for our second target, it's a thrown letter opener as the hotel staff.
So, again, quick refresher this is Bonus Roulette Freestyle, of course. So, the kills that you see on your screen can be performed on either target. Um, so, between Oybek Nebazov and Sister Yulduz, you can perform the katana recording crew kill on either one of them. Same for that thrown letter opener kill as hotel staff. Very important, the thrown distinction. Thrown and melee are distinctions for melee weapon kills um, in Roulette Freestyle. So it was not specified by RNG for katana, but it was for the thrown letter opener. So that is a requirement of the spin. Um, and yeah, we will see how our players decide to handle the freestyle aspect of things here.
Indeed, all three of them have already entered the map. We got to see a really cool Yulduz peekaboo from Fanium here. And that's both of her bodyguards knocked out as well. Very clean playing from Fanium here. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I remember the source being one of the quicker of the um, bonus maps, especially considering it's two targets. Of course, there are some exceptions when you get specific kill combinations, and these melee items may lead to a bit of back and forth, but um, the isolations, there are a couple ways you can take care of it, but most of your different strategies, you get your targets isolated very early, and then it's just kind of a matter of getting everything else that you need.
Yeah, and with the targets, with both of them being quite close together, I would assume that also helps with the whole time.
Absolutely, it does, and pretty much the entire map, except for some of the areas outside, where the military soldiers are. Um, Almost all of the map is accessible to the public, so um, it's actually easier to navigate than regular Bangkok for the most part because this is a public event, the cult meeting. So at least getting in position for those isolations is not the most difficult. We see Nezuko has already decided to go for that recording crew disguise and is now heading over to get those isolations.
Rightio.
Considering that this is the source and not regular Bangkok, I have no idea what the fastest way of getting both of these disguises is. But I'm sure all of our players here are going to have something in mind.
Me neither. I am noticing, like, there are less cameras in the source than there are in regular Bangkok, right? Or is that, or is
E-
that just me? Am I going crazy here?
um, I'm not sure because, I mean, you really only ever see half of the map, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if that was mostly true. Um,
Because I thought that Nessica walked past a place where there's usually a camera, but again, I could very much be wrong there, which is why I'm mentioning it.
I have played a little bit of roulette on this map, but most of everything I know is comes from whatever the challenges required me to do. So
Oh yeah, you've played that. That's still more roulette than I have played.
yeah, it was.
Nope, never mind. Okay, that's the camera that Nessico just shot. That was the one I thought was missing. So I think I just misinterpreted.
So he's decided to go for his kill methods a bit earlier on. He's already got the katana, of course, on his back, which cannot be stashed in the briefcase. Um,
Ooh.
he gets a instead of immediate combat, he kind of got a 3-shot there, but considering it is kind of impossible to make enough distance from that area with the guard staring straight at him, that was combat very soon after for Nezuko there. But with this being a 2-target spin, it is 30 minutes on the timer, so a good bit of time left to go.
Good knockouts from Joker J there on the two bodyguards and Oibek Nabasov. I believe Fanium did the peekaboo again with Yildiz, if I saw that correctly, which is just nice as always. It's a very nice peekaboo. And yeah.
Targets, unfortunately, are quite annoying with their VIP guards, so extra work you have to do there, and now also having to deal with very thin sight lines into this back area, as well as audio distractions. Kind of a lot to have to
Yeah.
worry about for Fanium there.
Fanium was very close on saving it, but ugh. I don't know, this is a bit off topic, but how was your break, by the way?
Pretty good. I got some water and worked on a little bit of stuff from for our next event next weekend, and that was about it.
I personally may or may not have checked if the striker one-shots Dino Bosco on my break.
Nice.
It doesn't. It's 2 shots on the head, and it takes like 5 or 7 shots to the body.
Yeah, I don't know, imagine doing that with like a Krugermeyer or something. So Nezuko opts to grab the free recording crew that's in the main mission, the one in what's her name? Jackie's suite.
Yeah?
Um there's usually a dude asleep. Actually, I can still see him on the minimap. He is still asleep in the little side room. For some
Oh.
reason, they are doing the exact same thing in the source as they are in the main mission. Um, so yeah, that was a pretty easy grab. Um, Joker decided to go for the same thing. And Julian, I guess, is the sleeping guy's name.
Julian.
Um,
Could also just be someone who's really similar to Julian. Ah, you first.
so that's going to get access, as we see from Nezuko, to the area where the katana is. Again, same spot as the main mission in one of the rooms upstairs, the penthouse that Jordan Cross normally occupies. So a bit of bullet panic here, trying to get away with this weapon on his back. So he wants to be able to transport both the recording crew and the katana at the same time, which is going to make it quite a bit difficult. And it's a good thing to not get spotted there, but dropping and picking up is definitely not the way to go with illegal actions because that will get insta compromised in a lot of cases. Another restart for Fanium there, unfortunately. And Joker J is now 5 minutes into this run here. No
And
targets killed.
another restart for Nezuko as well.
So I don't think there's been a target kill yet so far. It's been a lot of trying to work out the early setup, which is what's going to get you to hopefully a first place RTA finish.
Joker J having an annoying recording crew in the way.
I mean, especially thinking back to our point standing that we checked out between matches. That first place RTA is something that Nezuko-chan is very much going to be interested in here.
Indeed. Either that or was it 5 points? Yes, it was. Okay, so they had 5 points total. Yeah. So
Yeah, so
even if you first.
He's currently 3 points behind Joker J for that second place spot. So, based on our tie-breaking criteria, which I guess I will read out, the first step in the tiebreaker criteria is the most points from RTA performances throughout the first 4 rounds. So whoever has more RTA points would win the first step of the tiebreaker, and that would currently sit with Joker J. So Nezuko has to make up at least 4 points here. He has to get at least 4 points this round, with the maximum for any one player being 5, in order to be kept in the running there for the finals.
And mind you, that would be. They need to get 4 points, but they'd also need Joker J to only get like 1 point in that case then, because or hang on, wait, am I doing my math wrong? Yeah, no, because if Joker J gets 2 points and Nezuko gets four, then Joker J would have 1 point more than Nezuko total, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we see here Joker J, at the moment at least, very favored for getting first place in RTA, which would sort of seal the deal on that. Um, with our format, it doesn't matter at all how many points you have going into the final, as long as you make the final. That is all that matters. So, I mean, Fanium could be in first place by 15 points going into the final round, and it wouldn't actually help his chances at winning the event at all. Um, Basically, just trying to keep um, early steamrolls from happening with this sort of format. It's a bit of a bigger issue when you have more players, but of course keeps things tense in the final. So
Right, yeah. And we had our first kill just a few seconds ago at the 8 minute and 15 mark by Joker J.
yeah, we did see that thrown letter opener kill, and now 8.5 minutes in. I think he still needs to get the katana. I'm not sure. He obviously has the recording crew
Yeah.
prepared already, but I don't remember seeing him with a katana in this run.
And also it was like 12 minutes and 30 seconds until we got to see our first kill. So Source has been a rough one for our players so far.
Yeah, and it's very time consuming. These conditions are,
Oh yeah,
in terms
absolutely.
of back and forth, especially because the targets are so easy to isolate when you do it early on. That it's like you might save a very small amount of time, doing things in a different order here, but that would mess up your target isolations. And when you're trying to go for those RTA finishes in the beginning that will get you those early points, um, you really don't want to have to worry about, 4 minutes into your run trying to figure out what you're supposed to do with the targets.
Hmm.
Um, Joker J is looking at getting a guard disguise here to transport this katana, which should be a lot simpler.
No!
And that's a 10,
No!
10 minute rip from Joker J. It wasn't uh, watching that prompt closely enough and gets a 180 frontal KO GRB um, from lack of prompt there. And that's going to be a restart. We've got 16 minutes about left in the spin. So far, the furthest in we have is Nezuko with 1 minute and 52 seconds as he goes to restart with green guns. So I guess that's never mind, maybe. Oh, nope, he's back in.
Thank you.
So he is now again going to grab that katana on Jordan's side of things.
And that's another restart from Fanium.
Yeah, so far, Fanium is the only person we haven't seen so far cover a lot of ground. But of course, he's in a pretty good position as far as standings go, so he doesn't need to be supremely worried about his RTA standing as much as the other two players do.
Absolutely. It
Um,
does leave more points for the remaining two players to fight over, however, or rather, more valued points, if that makes sense. Oh, is that's a crime noses for Nezuko?
yeah, Nezuko, I mean,
Ay, ay, ay.
takes a series of body shots to even try to get out of this area safely, and there's always going to be risk associated with that. Um, 14 minutes left. I mean, we saw Joker J at about 10 minutes in game time. Of course, room for optimization as always. But
That's red guns for Joker J.
yeah, it's a bit rough with those two guards in that position because there's always the chance that, the last like 2 frames of the animation, one of the guards can see the other one's hitbox, and then it's just immediately red
Yeah.
guns.
Yep. How much time remaining? 13 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, really
And
not a ton of time left.
yeah, no, and none of our players have finished so far, so we don't even have anyone getting the first place RDA points yet.
And at the moment, all of our players are very early on in the current runs as well.
Yeah. All under a minute in. Uh, and that's another restart for Joker. Oh no.
Yeah, Joker has to be pretty disheartened after that late rip. It was very late.
Absolutely.
I mean, had that run worked out for him, had he been able to grab those 3 RTA points, that would have been a mathematical guarantee of a final placement. Um, but I mean, at this point, especially with only 12 minutes left, the idea of Nezuko finishing and Joker not finishing becomes more and more of a possibility as
Indeed.
each player has fewer runs to go. Um,
And assuming that Fanium doesn't finish either, that would be like 5 points for Nezuko,
because I
which
mean,
would be, yeah.
if you're Joker J, thinking about it, and you see Nezuko post a time in the match channel, you're going to be going for the safest run physically possible to guarantee an RTA finish, to keep that gap in place. So, um, I guess the less time that's left when Nezuko finishes would sort of be better for him in some situations.
Right, yo.
If he is able to finish, which we are currently looking at right now, he's at 3 minutes. Gonna grab that katana, and this has been the trickiest part of the run so far, is getting this katana to the other side of the map. If he once again wishes to transport it in the tech crew disguise.
There. Nope, nope, I spoke too soon. I was about to say that Joker J was getting the knockout, but yeah, nope, spoke too soon.
Yeah, Jeff and his girlfriend make it kind of rough because obviously, with what you've seen here, you would want to try to isolate, or not isolate, to knock out those guards a little bit quicker before they get into position. But when you're using sedative of some kind to try to get rid of those two, because they just kind of stand in the bathroom forever, usually, until they're triggered. Um, you don't really have that timing to be able to knock them out before they can find anything. But anyways, back again at the start of runs here for all 3 players.
I'm trying to. I'm starting to just think of like really convoluted ways of maybe doing that bathroom knockout differently. Like trying to save the snail for the two guards? Or would Oibek notice the sound of the snail and then turn around and stop puking?
Well, I have been involved in roulette in this community for several years now, and I have learned that the more complicated the strat is, usually the better. So,
The
um,
more complicated, the better. Okay, I didn't expect that.
you should see what people post in um, well, all of the Hitman communities, I guess. Like the strats that people will come up with for literally one specific kill condition are like insane. There's some very talented people in our community, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen bits and pieces of it, of course, but it's been a while since I last
There's a lot to
checked
keep
in
up
with the
with.
community. It's been a while. I'm hoping to get into it again soon.
Uh,
Aiming to like, oh, you first.
I mean, with how many tournaments that have been held officially and just by the community in these servers, I mean, like, there's been so many roulette tournaments now that it's like, if you can save a handful of seconds by doing something that's like takes way more effort, then you're doing pretty well. So, um, has anyone finished this yet? In this round specifically on the source here, we have not had a finish so far. No.
Right, and that's also with like 8 minutes left on the timer. So, hey.
But I mean, players have been getting several minutes into their runs before they've ripped, so they've learned a lot up to this point. There's just under 8 minutes left in the spin. So at this point, I think we're looking at maybe one full run after the one that they're currently on has concluded. Um, depending on the player. So not a ton of time left, unfortunately, with only 30 minutes for this entire round.
Yeah.
And there's a side KO for Fanium on Jeff.
Are you
Fortunately,
kidding with me?
couldn't quite have the angle to get behind him. Um, Joker J, I'm not sure if he's trying to use this to hold. You can't hold swinging doors open with items, only sliding doors. So if that is the intent, then very likely not going to work for him.
I have made the same mistake myself.
Yeah, it seems like something like a briefcase should be able to stop the door. And I mean, if it wasn't a video game, the door wouldn't close on its own in the first place, but it's kind of a convenience thing that can get in the way sometimes.
That said, seeing a briefcase launched by a door is definitely something to behold.
It really is. Um, so Nezuko seems like he might have tapped out on this one.
Unfortunately
At this
so.
at this point, if he were to finish the spin at all, I think um he would absolutely make the final. But 6 minutes left. I'm not sure if he would have time, but he would very likely be close to having enough time. Fanium as well, I think, has accepted the fact that uh, no one else has finished up to this point, so he doesn't need to be supremely concerned here. Um, it would take Joker J getting all 5 points in the round to be able to pass him, and at that point, he would still be in the final. So, he's grabbing food. Fair enough. Um, Probably got a little under 10 minutes before we're gonna start the final round. Probably have a slightly longer break in between rounds for me to change the source up a little bit. Not the map,
Oh,
but the
right.
stream. for the finals.
Right, that means I gotta prepare something to fill in the time then during
Yeah.
all that.
But Joker is still left here for us to commentate, I guess. Just under 5 minutes left.
Indeed.
He's 6 minutes in game time. I think a rip at this point would basically be an end to the round, but he is bringing the katana back over to the other side of the map. Um, and then we'd be looking at probably about just over 7.5 minute finish if he has everything completely ready to go over there. Um, Depends on. I would assume you would want to um, go for a main exit most of the time because it's the safest at this point, but we will see. As far as Joker knows at this point, Nezuko could be 5 seconds away from finishing the spin at any time, so.
Right, yeah.
I love that this floating woman is still a thing, by the way. I remember, like, years ago, um, I showed that to someone because I thought it was really funny. The woman at the table on this map just floats, like, 6 feet above the air in a sitting position, and that's still there.
Yep.
But I don't know, it's funny. So Joker J is doing a good bit more maneuvering. I suppose he is now looking to grab that letter opener out of 47's suite. If he doesn't already have one.
Yeah, they kind of just ran away from it. Please tell me you didn't forget it, Joker. Please tell me you already have one.
Yeah, I don't know if he could already have one, assuming the one that's in by the recording area is still there on this version of the map. I don't see why it would have gotten removed, so he could have one already.
I think I managed to spot one in their inventory when they
My
opened it
God,
for a split second.
yeah, he could definitely still. I think he's just looking at the tech crew now. Or sorry, recording crew wants to grab the free one here off
But
of Julian's floor.
yeah, potato, potato.
So 2 minutes is he able to run over, um, kill both of his isolated targets, and make it to an exit. We will have to see. Of course, depends on the exit that he takes. He's got this katana just sitting in the middle of the ring here. That's interesting. Of course, he is trespassing. Very significantly. Only concern is the guards, but they are spaced out in such a way as to cause a problem.
It's
Um,
definitely.
I mean, it's not over yet, but it might be over in the sense that he may not be able to finish in time at this point. So he's got a cult guard that he can grab to get his katana over here. Minute 30 on the clock.
Ay, ay, ay.
Again, for those of you watching at home with bated breath, the outcome of Joker's run here does not change the standings in any way, but we're rooting for him here to be able to get that done. So there's Nabazov with Katana as recording crew, and now needs hotel staff letter opener. Does he not have a hotel staff prepared there already? I thought I saw him stash one over here, but it's been so long now that I don't know.
Wait, oh.
But yeah, without that, he absolutely does not have enough time, unfortunately.
I genuinely thought that they did, but
I guess I was thinking of, well, obviously in a previous run he got that kill already, but I guess I was just misremembering back to that.
I mean, with that, I mean, that's that in about 30 seconds. And yeah, there's the Joker J got spotted anyway by the hotel staff, so that's just rubbing salt in the wound. That's just rubbing salt in the nail in the coffin. So
I am typing furiously, as I'm sure you can hear.
Yes, I can definitely hear that.
having
Can the
our
Twitch chat
message.
hear that? Can the Twitch chat hear
Um,
your typing?
I'm not sure because I have. Let's see. It's definitely coming through a little bit. I was gonna say I have more noise suppression in OBS than I do in Discord, but
Yeah.
seems like it still comes through a bit. Um,
I mean, fine either way, of course. Like it's of course fine and either way. I was just curious. Cause
let's
yeah,
see.
we'll be moving into the final now,
Yeah,
everybody.
I suppose I will make the note in the spreadsheet. Of course, it's not really anything surprising here. I will switch us over just for our score recap here going into the final. Um, with no finishes from any of our players there in that round. None of their scores will change, unfortunately, but that does mean that we have a very clear set of two finalists here, being Fanium and Joker J with a score of 12 and 8 over Nezuko's 5. Of course, still a very solid performance. Took all 5 points in round 2. Um, by all, I mean the maximum that he could possibly get. Only happened twice in the event so far. Fanium in round 3 as well. So definitely nothing to be ashamed of. And we will now see Fanium and Joker J on Patient Zero, which will be our final map. And this is winner takes all with no time limit. So first person to finish the spin will be our winner, no matter how long it takes them.
Indeed, they will.
Let me set our time here. I'll do it at 20 just to have it be even.
20. So in about 3 minutes, the final will commence. That is noted.
Yes, it will. And let's see. Again, you are going to do my job for me and provide any thoughts that you may have on the end of the source there while I set this up.
Right, yo, the end of source, the end of source. It's definitely something. Like, it's. I don't think I have much to say besides, like, how rough it was. Like, it was just rough. It was just difficult. All of our players made a crack good shot at it, but
It's no
it
fault,
wasn't, unfortunately.
to no
No
fault
fault
of
of
the
anyone.
players. I think
Of
the
course. Oh
source is
God,
just
no.
a very long map, so
Yeah, no. I am not blaming
um,
any one of the players here. I
your
want to make that very clear.
your number of attempts is kind of cut in half compared to some of the other maps that we've seen so far. So
Yeah.
let's see. Let me make sure I've got a legal spin here. Um, let's see. Oh, that's banned, so that'll be a no.
Everybody at
Mm,
home, try and guess what
mm.
kind of spin Chris just got that they had to
This one
respin.
looks good. Well, I mean, I can say because it got respawned. It was consumed poison, which is banned for both targets, actually.
All right, all right, all right.
But yeah, I've got a legal spin here. Send that. I think it looks good.
I mean, I guess you could.
Um,
I mean, okay, we're keeping that band. We're not going to change that. I'm just curious. I'm just thinking about all the ways you could like bend the rules to try and allow a consumed poison because you could theoretically allow it for Oven Cage by having Klaus Liebleed, I think it is. I think they can like inject some poison into Oven Cage as a mission story slash challenge slash kill condition. But that would be definitely a bit annoying to set up for Roulette, of course.
Actually, for the folks at home, I Well, I actually did. I pushed it back slightly so I can actually have this scene prepared to make it not look completely ugly. Um,
Ah, right.
but anyways, keep going.
Very well. Keep. I gotta keep this tap dance going. Do you mind if I distract the Twitch chat with my findings on Striker and Dino Bosco?
You know what? Why not?
Because I am not a very good Hitman person. My
Okay.
research here is to be taken with a grain of salt, and like I'm 90% sure that like someone has done like in-depth research about this and has like all of the exact numbers. With that said,
Maybe.
from what I managed to find, I shot with the striker on Dino Bosco from a moderate distance, both at the head and at the body, and I also did head and body point blank with the striker. That was the tests that I managed to get done. 5 to 7 shots were needed on the body, regardless of distance. Like, or well, I mean that specifically I can't quite confirm, but it seemed to be so at least. I can at least confirm that 2 headshots was needed on Dino Bosco, regardless of distance. 2 headshots at a moderate distance, 2 headshots point blank. That's what was needed to kill them. And I also managed to confirm, or I guess deconfirm, my memory of being able, or like being able to kill Dino Bosco from the head front and not from the head back. I think that's just something I've just misremembered or just made up. Like that doesn't exist. It was never a thing.
Uh, Anyways, I switched us back over. Our spin is live. If you would like to read it out for us here, Cab.
Very well. We got a fire axe melee as the morgue doctor, and shotgun VIP patient as Amos Dexter.
Yeah, I messed around with it a little bit. Realized there was no way to really make it any prettier. So I'll just stick with this to save the suspense from going on forever.
Very
Um,
well.
but yeah, so patient zero here again. Freestyle rules mean that they can choose between Owen Cage and Klaus Liebleed for both of these kills. Um, of course, one of them does have to be live, and that is a melee kill with the fire axe. No time limit, and the first player to finish the spin by any means will be the winner of our event here. Yes, Nezuko was eliminated for the final. Specifically, we had 4 rounds of qualification. Now on the final here. Um, and yeah, also important to note for Patient Zero specifically, if any other NPCs are infected, they can be killed with any method. Does not matter how you get rid of them. You just, of course, have to for Silent Assassin. Um, as long as you keep those green guns, you're going to be good to go.
Thank you for making that clear.
Mm-hmm.
I was genuinely curious how that was going to be dealt with.
You can infect the entire map if you want. I think other than 2 NPCs, you can infect the entire map. As long as you are the first one to finish. So we see
Hmm.
Joker J has one of his kills on him right now. Just went and grabbed that fire axe, same spot as the main mission, and now needs to get that as a live kill. I'm glad. I guess kind of glad that the illegal spin ended up allowing for a live kill here because I'm sure both of our players are very comfortable with their isolations for kills that aren't live. So it'd be nice to see how they decide to approach this one.
Okay. And okay, so Joker J has managed to get the fire axe fairly close to Owen Cage, but they do not have a hazmat suit, so they would get infected by getting close to Owen Cage there.
And they got wrecked a little bit by the sitting prompt only allows you to subdue. So 47 there decided to shove the fire axe in his back pocket in order to strangle Owen Cage instead of just killing him.
Priorities.
Which is going to lead to a rip to Joker J because he cannot cancel that subdue animation and there's no way to get him back awake. I guess he could have someone wake him up and then when they got infected he would be able to kill them. But I mean that's kind of just like more complicated than it may be worth perhaps. But yeah, as you
Yeah,
mentioned,
and
did get infected there from Owen himself, so it does have to come down here with that strategy and get the vaccine or whatever it is.
yeah, it's a vaccine. I think it is.
I think you have like 5 minutes, or I don't know. It's something very forgiving to get
It,
that,
it, it is 5 minutes.
so wouldn't be too much of an issue there. Both
It
back
is.
early on.
Well, I mean, one bad thing about being infected is just how if you pass by anyone else, they'll also get infected. Which, to be fair, that could be used to your advantage to just like kill the ones that you do infect, but it could definitely still be a bit annoying.
Absolutely. So both players the same method of getting into the hospital here. Looking to uh, use a remote emetic gas device, I guess. It seems like both of them um, have decided to maybe do that Fire X kill on Klaus instead of Owen. Um, may have just realized that it was too much of a pain, and Fanium actually does grab that hazmat suit to prevent himself from getting infected there.
Indeed.
So that'll save him some time for sure. Um, Joker J injecting himself with the vaccine so as to not worry about that. Um, I'm not actually sure if you can do that preemptively, but it would make sense that you could. So
I'm going to go glass half full and say that that counts, that you can get it before.
I mean, if it is a vaccine, it shouldn't take effect in like 30 seconds, but it's a video game, so why not? As we see Fanium there going for the stair slide with his Krugermeyer. Um, anyways, they both gotten the target number 1 kill set up there on your screen. Body found isn't an instant rip technically because it's patient 0, but I mean at this point, do you really want to infect the whole hospital just to save this run? Because now you're gonna have like dozens of people that are gonna get compromised. So that's a
It's
restart.
also right. It's also like to infect the ones with the hazmat suits, you would need to actually disguise with their hazmat suits first.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, if you remove their disguise, they'll still get infected.
Right.
On the ground. So it would just be like juggling a bunch of disguises. But we see Joker there was able to get the live fire axe kill switched into Klaus's own disguise and is now headed over to grab Amos Dexter.
Indeed, indeed.
And then there should be a shotgun in either a stash or you would likely be able to grab one in the security room in the main resort area because there's one there, or there's a loud one there, I should say, in the main mission.
And as and remember, It is RTA that we're going with here. The first
Yes.
one to finish will be the one to win the whole thing. And of course, the moment I say that, that's when Joker J gets spotted and has to restart.
It does not matter if it takes you 7 hours to finish your run, as long as you finish it in the first place. And then I'm not sure what Fanium was going for there. He picks up a scalpel and then I guess he was just planning on restarting anyways and just thought it would be funny, but just stabs Owen directly in the chest with the wrong kill method. So
Owen probably deserves it.
he was already compromised by the dude in the hazmat suit, but of course, as we mentioned, that can be remedied. Testing melee from the front, maybe. I think the only reason it doesn't work from behind is just because there's a unique animation for it. Um, so I don't know. I guess for some reason they thought when they were designing how the prompts worked that that should always take priority. I guess they just there's just since there's no animation for melee kills while sitting, it just doesn't do anything. So that sucks. Joker again building up that immunity for later, and both players pretty early on.
I gotta ask about the immunity as well, because there's like two vials of immunity, and one of them's already empty or missing, so to say. So I'm just wondering, like, is it canonical? Like, is it canonical which NPC? Like, is there an NPC who has taken that? Is the question.
Uh, I could be wrong. I think the only NPC on the map that you that you cannot infect is the one that's outside of the map that's tied to the heart that's in the morgue. Um, just like in the main mission on Hokkaido, you also get a kill from shooting the heart or getting rid of it. But now it's an NTK because it's not assigned to Eric Soders as a target. So
Right.
there's some dude out in there's some NPC standing still out in the mountains somewhere that dies when you do that, so you can't infect them. But
So,
pretty
so, so,
sure
so, so, that,
everyone else on the map you can.
so that's just canonically the one dude. That's the dude who took the vaccine.
You know what? Why not? He's probably gonna
Cool.
die from hypothermia anyways. So
Waltzed
um,
in, got the vaccine, ran out into the mountains.
so we saw Joker again with that early melee kill. Now has his shotgun left here. Now gonna look to get Dexter. He wanted to free up that briefcase so that he could put the gas device inside of it to conceal that, and is now looking for Dexter so he can get that disguise isolation.
Hmm.
I have no idea what his cycle is like compared to the main mission. I could be wrong. I think he actually just stays in his suite the whole time. Again, I could be wrong on this mission, but maybe not. He might be out. Oh, there he is, actually. He's all the way over here. Yeah, so that is not the case on, I guess, any of the Hokkaido missions. I was just completely wrong.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, here we see that emetic briefcase canceled the sick animation, so very easily gonna get that disguise. Now just needs to make his way back over to the surgery wing. Stick his shotgun back in a briefcase, or he's gonna leave the briefcase. Hopefully he remembers that he needs to go get his shotgun in the first place.
Let's see. Right. I mean, they're climbing down the side of the hospital
Yeah, it'll be
into.
right out here.
Yeah.
He should have basically no problem. I mean, he's routed through the morgue a million times playing roulette, so shouldn't really be an issue that he doesn't have the briefcase. Getting back over to Owen, and should not have to worry about getting infected. Um, which means, ooh, and gets
Oh
a
no.
body found through the window. Yeah, I
Oh
wonder.
no.
I I think the only way he would actually be able to salvage that in a quick way is if he himself could get infected, because then he
Uh,
could go back down and infect that guy. But I mean, like, getting that guy to Owen or vice versa is just going to take too much time since he
yeah.
himself cannot get infected. It's just not worth it.
And speaking of infections, Fanium did get a clean kill here on Owen Cage and just needs to get themselves
Yeah.
a vaccine. Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, he is in a hostile area carrying a weapon, so
What
that's
if, okay,
not
what
going to
if
go
they
too
had,
well.
oh, what if they had taken the hazmat suit? Okay, hear me out. Can you infect anyone if you wear the hazmat suit? If you're
Um,
infected and you wear it?
I don't think it goes both ways, but honestly, I don't remember.
Because that would. I think that would be the key to Fanium's strategy here. I think that would work amazingly if that's the thing. And even
I
then,
mean,
just getting the.
the
Or you
problem
first.
the problem in Hitman is like panic spreads so inconsistently that like, someone not necessarily on the other side of the map, but like a significant distance away can like somehow get affected by the panic, and then it's like, at that point you have to kill like dozens of NPCs to be able to get your green guns back.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right, right.
so it's like, you know, theoretically you're just banking on the fact that restarting is going to take less time than having to deal with however much of an issue that ends up being.
Right, alright.
Joker's going to take the vaccine again, as well as the disguise.
Oh. Come on, Fanium. They're very clean when it comes to actually getting Owen. They're
Oh,
very
that
clean.
was unfortunate.
Oh no.
He throws he goes to throw an item at the dude in the hazmat suit's head, and it just flies right past him.
Yeah, I saw that. That was unfortunate.
I mean,
But that's Owen Cage down. See, now they get the hazmat suit. Now they get the hazmat suit. This is what I
it's
meant.
it's funny that like I understand that Owen Cage like doesn't care about anything, and like he has accepted the fact that he is going to die. It's just kind of funny that he literally does not care at all about anything that 47 just did right in front of him.
I mean, yeah.
He's just sitting there watching this dude get choked out right in front of him.
Yeah. But look at this. This is what I meant with getting the hazmat suit. And you can't infect any other NPCs when you're wearing it. That's amazing.
And he is able to inject himself. Only had one person infected, which was in the interim in the disguise change, so that's already been taken care of. Owen is dead with that melee kill. Oh, that's a very yeah, no. That's a time where you don't want to use a subdue prompt. That's a rip unless he can somehow get that guy infected. He needs to restart. Um, he also got another body found somehow.
Oh
That's gonna
no.
be Klaus. I don't know why this guy ended up over here at this point in the run, but I guess he cannot stay here. Um, yeah, I was gonna say, had he done a melee knockout instead of a subdue there, he would have been fine with that, but did not matter in the end. Funny that you can't even carry a scalpel in the hazmat disguise.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't need a scalpel for a plague, I guess, but it's a bit weird.
Joker now getting Dexter again, and has not ripped so far to any wandering NPCs. He's got Klaus in the bathroom instead of the side room. As Amos's pathing just gets completely broken for some reason. There's no one in this bathroom in this version of the map, I guess.
That's good at least.
So there's the Amos disguise. Just needs that shotgun over there.
So this time we're hoping that Joker J doesn't get a rip with the morgue doctor looking through the window. Because that's what ripped them last time.
I think he would have been fine without the distraction on the morgue doctor, but we'll see.
We'll definitely see, absolutely. Oh boy, moment of truth, Joker J, moment of truth. That's another restart for Fanium. Go, 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 go! Oh!
I think he really, yeah, he's just going to want to do a thrown distraction more directly behind him than towards that window. And, I mean, he could still get an angle to see that body, but looks like at this point he's fine.
No, no! Oh, very big whoosh for Joker J.
Larry barely notices the guards that are still outside on the helipad because that panic has calmed down by now. I'm not sure what his path to Owen looks like right now.
Mm.
You obviously got him isolated in that same room, but I don't know how easily he'll be able to get over there. Looks like he's going to maybe take a different approach over there, which
Seems like
is
it.
fair because this other staircase would definitely get him closer to Owen. And then, okay, I guess he's going to.
They're playing it safe by getting the biosuit, it seems.
I was gonna say, hopefully he has a disguise still up at Owen to leave with. I don't know. He's taken a different disguise with him, but he is still carrying the shotgun on his back regardless.
Yeah. I am of the opinion that Joker J might have been able to get here as Amos Dexter, but either way, I think it's fine.
He may. I was gonna say he may be able to prop that door next to Owen open with an item.
Maybe.
But just gonna go back now as Amos. As Fanium gets himself infected, killing Owen there with the live kill.
Oh, wear the hazmat suit, Fanium. Come on. Yes, thank you.
Joker
What?
now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought the hazmat dude disappeared, but we're fine.
Joker now 7 minutes in on his in-game time, and now needs to stealth over to this 2 rooms away. He's got to wait out this guy's cycle of going back the other direction.
Yeah. So, okay, so Fanium's got the vaccine. Joker J's
And
about to make the run. To open
This
cage.
he's got the same body found at the same time, the same guy. He's left Klaus in the same spot. And
Damn
now
it.
that he's cured himself, I'm not.
No! Joker J!
Choker J. I mean, this late in a run to have that impatience there, it's very surprising. Um, and it seems like, yeah, this match is going to be going on for a lot longer. That was a bit of a careless rip there. And no time limit. So I imagine we'll probably see both of them go for the same strats. I'm not really sure on Fanium's end because it hasn't been working out for him, this Klaus isolation. But um, I don't know. I guess he's thinking that he has some way of making this safer because he's uh, got Klaus here in the same spot.
Right, that's right there. That's them left in the same place again. Hmm. Ay, ay, ay. Fanium. Oh, ay, 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 ay. And we have no time limit, as you said.
Yep.
So theoretically, this could take theoretically we could be here for like 1 hour and 15 minutes extra.
It's been 27 minutes so far. So with um the same timer that we saw previously, that would have almost expired here.
Yeah. And I understand that saying 1 hour and 15 minutes was a bit mean. That was admittedly a bit of an exaggeration. Like, I'm not
Bully,
expecting that it will actually take that long for
bully,
our players.
bully caster, and yeah, Joker J. um, I was worried that he bumped him there, but I don't have the game sound.
Also, did you call me a bully caster a second ago?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
can't believe you said that. You would dare say that Joker J and Fanium could possibly take that long, and then
I'm sorry. Can
and
I?
then in,
Can
and
I?
then
Can?
in 45 minutes we'll come back to
Look, is there any way I can make up for it? Can I
Nope.
make up for it?
Nope, you're
Okay,
fired.
okay.
Nope, you're
Uh,
fired.
all
So
right. Bye. All right.
Fanium
I guess I should leave then. Bye, everyone.
Fanium has that live kill now. Infected himself, of course. And um it's actually a way he can circumvent infecting this guy is by boxing him first, because can't infect someone that doesn't exist on the map anymore, so saves him a very small amount of time, I guess. And now I'm gonna go down for that vaccine. We haven't really seen him get to Dexter very much because of those body founds, and I think that's likely to happen again soon here. Joker J as the morgue doctor. Fanium's got his little collection of disguises here that he can use. That guard disguise will let him um, use that emetic gas device at will without having to worry about getting spotted. Restart there from Joker J, not too far into the run. So we'll have the Amos disguise relatively shortly. We will see how well he is able to get to Klaus, who is the target that he has isolated for that kill in this disguise. Body should be fine to stay in there. The early restart there for Joker J.
Oh, damn it. I thought Joker J might have actually been able to improv that, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's wrongly assumed of me.
Fanium there's going to triple shot. He is looking to come right across this way. Look at him in very quickly and smartly realizes to hide and cover there. Because that almost definitely would have been an instant rip had those guards seen him across the way there. There's the shotgun kill.
Oh, nice.
And needs to get back around to here. Now, if he hugs the wall on his left, he should be outside of the 3-shot bubble and be fine.
Careful, two guards to the right there, but okay, don't worry, we're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Not.
he's managed to dodge the little 3-shot panic circle there, so no instant combat. And now just gonna run to the default cable car exit, and he should be out.
Oh my. Is that might be a GG. I'm seeing a GG question mark in the chat. That might be a GG for Fanium. Well played. That's a victory to Fanium. And they even got some challenges on it. How nice.
5:34 is our final time. I will send that out so Joker knows. And he is stair sliding back and forth. That is going to make Fanium our bonus roulette freestyle champion here. And I guess we can get a final look at what our scores ended up being here.
Heck yeah, let's see that spreadsheet one more time.
There it is. We've got Fanium in the qualification round with a final score of 12, Joker J final score of 8, Nezuko Chan final score of 5. Fanium is our winner, with Joker J being our runner-up, our finalist contender. So I don't know, do you have any thoughts on the event as a whole, and I guess that last map as well?
Besides all the GGs, this has been a very enjoyable event. That's essentially what I have for thoughts. I haven't really watched. I haven't really followed these like bonus roulettes as much as I have wanted to, so getting to actually like see these bonus maps being played in roulette was a delight to actually finally see, especially with such wonderful players as these. And overall, this has been nice. I enjoyed, things were definitely very close. And I thank you for having me, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you as well as all of our wonderful people in chat. I do want to, real quick, I have a little bit of a plug for our next event that's coming up here. And then as well, I guess I will, for anyone here who is not already in the Providence Discord, providence.community, there is the link to join the Discord server for this event. Similar events like it. This is the first event of our winter roadmap, and we have 5 events this season, as well as our main event, the Providence Cup 2, which is going to be a roulette relay event. So following up this next weekend on March the 18th, very likely to be around the same starting time as this one, is going to be the second edition of Map Royale. So that will be several different types of modes in a one-day event on Berlin this time. Last time it was on Miami. And again, that will be next weekend on the 18th. The signups for that will open probably within 10 minutes after I end this stream. I'll be able to get those made public and available. Signups will close the night before the event. So if you're interested in that or anything else we've got going on Providence, be sure to check out that Discord server for more information. That's going to do it for us here today.